There is greatness in you, and you can be great, and you can make huge strides toward that greatness this year. Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. As you're watching this, it should be January 1st, 2021. Finally, 2020 ended. What a horrendous year it was for so many of us. So much death and despair and tragedy, and man, it was a hard year. But it's over, and now we can put that behind us and think about what's next. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, is what's next. I believe that every year can be a new beginning, and that at the end of every year you can look back, you should be able to look back and say, this was a year of change and growth and maturity for me. My life is better today than it was a year ago. And you know, that's what this channel is all about, offering you a new life, becoming a completely new life by becoming a nomad. And so I talk about, you know, how there is an option in life that you've probably never even heard of or even considered. And I know that that's true for a lot of you, because you write me and you say, man, I never even thought about this. But as soon as I saw your first video, I thought, yeah, that's for me. And I hope that will be true for you this year. And I hope it will be as good and wonderful and amazing and fantastic for you as it has been for myself and for so many other people that I know. It can be an amazing new life. But, you know, there's a bit of an issue. There's an old saying that I love, and it goes, wherever you go, there you are. So you take your life with you. So whatever your life was like at your house, and you sell your house, you sell your apartment, you sell your stuff, you move into a van, and man, you're living in nature and everything is better. But you're still you. And whatever was going on inside you back then in your old life is still going on inside of you right now in this new life. And if it caused you problems then, there weren't any sudden miracles that are going to eliminate those problems. They're probably going to cause you problems today too. So it's not enough to make all these amazing changes on our outside. We've got to make changes on the inside. And so that's what I'm going to suggest that this year be about. That if you've already made the changes and become a nomad, and you're living in a van, a car, van, RV, whatever, you're traveling, you're spending time in nature, you're building a community, your life is so much better. And I hear from you over and over again, your life is so much better. But there's another step beyond that, and I would really like to encourage you to take that. And so you have this outward journey and adventure of becoming a nomad. And I would like to encourage you that in 2021, and here it is, January 1st, 2021, that you begin a new life's adventure inside, a journey inside of self-discovery, of self-examination, and self-experimentation. So just like I try to inspire and educate about how you can live a whole new and wonderful life in a car, van, or RV as a nomad, I want to inspire and educate how you can become a new person, have a new growth in this new year of 2021. And let me just say in passing here that my intention is to start a whole new YouTube channel, and it will be about how to change your life, and that will be its whole focus. And I make a lot of promises and have a lot of big plans that don't get made, so this is not a promise of a new channel, this is an intention. Now, what I believe is we are all good but flawed people, and that's kind of a philosophical debate, a religious debate. Are we fundamentally good people? Are we fundamentally bad? And we like to try and debate that and think about that. And for a lot of people, they say, oh, this person is fundamentally good, but that person, oh, they're fundamentally bad. Well, my personal opinion, and it's just a personal opinion and nothing more, is that we are all good but flawed people. And so there is a spectrum in all of our lives of the good that's in us and the flaws that are in us. So how does it get so out of balance so much? Well, I think there are three basic reasons. A lot of us are born with these instincts that overcome us, the tendency to be fearful or angry or selfish, That's just something we're born with. It's a genetic part of who we are. A lot of our personality is genetic. We're just born with it. But beyond that, you add in your parenting and your peers, and they mold that. Say you're born with a tendency to be fearful, and then you have really terrible or abusive parents. Well, that tendency to be fearful becomes a huge fear-based life, and fear-based life is often lashes inward or lashes outward, and so you become what everyone thinks is a really flawed person. And another thing is society, because society molds us and takes who we are, our personalities, and shapes it. So these three forces are at work: our genetics, our peers and family, and specifically our parents, and society. And they're molding us. And so whatever genetic tendency we have becomes shaped by those other things. And sometimes you could be born very fearful and angry with that tendency, genetic tendency, and you can have great parents and they can offset it, and you can grow up and be a really good person. So both of those are in you, and they're in me, and there's just this balance. And none of us are born hating. None of us are born wanting to hurt others. I really believe that. My personal belief is we are all born good, and things fundamentally good, and then things go downhill with either the genetics, the parenting, or society's training. And what I'm trying to say is it's within your control. Who you are, that balance of good person with the flaws, is yours to control and take charge of. And I'm reminded of the old saying, you probably have heard this sometime in your life. It's attributed to an old Cherokee grandfather. His grandson comes to him one day and says, oh, Grandpa, today I did something that I'm embarrassed and ashamed of. I haven't told anyone, but I didn't want to do it, but I found myself doing this, and I don't understand. I'm doing this thing I don't want to do, and now I'm afraid people will find out, and I'm ashamed. And Grandpa, why did that happen? What can I do? And Grandpa says, my son, my grandson, there are two wolves living within all of us. And the one wolf thinks about other people and is generous and kind towards them. But the other wolf, it thinks about itself and what it wants, and it's self-oriented. But this good wolf, it sees others in trouble and its heart breaks for them. It wants to help them and reach out. This other wolf, though, when it sees someone in trouble, it smiles and enjoys that, and actually wants to harm and make their lives even a little worse. And so these two wolves and these two tendencies are at work in your life. And you've seen it today. You didn't want to do that, but you did it. And so that was the other wolf. That was the wolf that took control. And the little boy says, but Grandpa, what will I do? How will I live my life? Which of the wolves will win in my life? And the grandpa says, son, the wolf will win which you feed the most. And that is so absolutely appropriate. This year, if you will feed the good human being you were born to be, then life can be amazing and wonderful, and your life will just get better and better and better and better. It won't be a bed of roses. Bad things happen to good people, period. That's a whole nother discussion for another day. But in the midst of whatever happens, you'll find within yourself the resources and the strength to get through and make the very best of them. That's what needs to happen, is you feed the good wolf and you can control your life. You can become that good person who does the good things that you long to do, you want to do. And then you don't starve the bad wolf, but you treat it kindly and you embrace it and you teach it and you say, no, we won't do that. And here's why, and this is what we'll do instead. And you learn from the bad wolf and you train it. It can be trained. It can be manipulated. And that's what you can do this year. Feed the one wolf, tame the other, to become a servant. I really like that. If you feed the wolf right, you can become a whole different person. The good things you want to be and do, they can be a constant part of your life. At the end of the day, you can be proud of who you are and what you did. And you won't think, why did I do that? Why did I say that? I hurt their feelings and now they're mad at me. And why? You'll start to have answers and start to have control. So this new channel will be specific exercises and activities, not just great preaching and teaching, but specific exercises and activities. And so today I want to give you a brief outline of an activity that I would encourage you to embark on this year in 2021, January 1st, 2021. Make this a daily part of your life for this year, and at the end of the year, you tell me, you write me and tell me, Bob, you lied. I did what you said and nothing changed. In fact, I'm worse than ever. Or what the best happens and your life is better than ever, because not only are you have this new outside world of the nomadic life, but you have a new inside world full of love and joy. So I want to talk to you today specifically about a specific activity that you can start and maintain and will change your life. And it comes from this book right here. You don't have to buy this book. I'm not even going to encourage you to buy this book. Well, you could, but I'm not going to encourage it. The name of this book is Benjamin Franklin's Virtue Journal. So he says, all that either natural inclination, genetics, boy, he was a really smart guy. This is a quote. All that either natural inclinations, what he was born like, he was born with this genetic inclination, custom, that's society's molding of him, or company, that's parent and peers, might lead me into. So he said he's controlled by these three things, and his goal is to conquer them and to become the very best, most morally perfect human being he could become. So in other words, he set out to attain moral perfection. Of course, he did not attain to it, but he was a happier and better man because of the effort. And you can find out all about this just by going to Google and type in Benjamin Franklin's Virtue Journal. He divided the year into 4 quarters, and he wanted to have 13 virtues. So he listed out 13 virtues. And for 1 quarter a year, he went week by week, and each week he did one of the virtues. He specifically applied himself to that virtue. And at the end of the day, he looked back on his life that day and said, I kept these virtues. And he had a list of the 13 virtues. He was a printer. Benjamin Franklin was a printer. So he printed himself out this journal. Every morning of his life, he asked himself, what good will I do today? And then at the end of the day, before retiring, going through his journal, he asked himself again, what good did I do today? So going into the day, he plans a day. What good will I do? How will I make another human being's life better? And then at the end of the day, he said, did I do it? And then he writes it out. There is greatness in you that you do not know about, and you can bring it out if you're willing. I beg you to include this in your life. I'm begging you. Whenever you search for your flaws, remember the good. Don't ever look for the flaws without seeing the good. I would really suggest that you kind of rethink the 13 virtues and apply them specifically as you examine your life, and as you use the virtues he's listed, you'll find your flaws and you'll be able to see a pattern of your flaws, of the wolf in your life, the negative wolf that is bringing about these negative emotions and is harming your life and using you to harm others. So find the flaws and then emphasize the positive virtue that offsets the flaws. You have to find this balance of the good and the flaw, and daily, and it has to be daily. You can miss it every so often, and you will. It's an absolute. For myself, I started out 25 years ago with a plan very similar to this, and it was a daily plan, and I followed it. And it wasn't this plan, but it was a plan that I picked up somewhere along the way, and I have followed that plan. And after quite a while, it stopped being a ritual, a molded ritual. This is how I did it, and it became a part of my life. And now it's just a part of my life. And I think that's the goal for you. Some of you need the ritual, and so a journaling at night with this pondering it in the morning, making the plans, the good you're going to do, the flaws you saw in yourself yesterday, how you're going to correct them. Do you need to go and make amends to someone? Did you hurt someone? Do you need to go and make amends? That will be part of what you'll do. Building up the good, taming the flaws, taming the wolf, feeding that good wolf, taming that negative, harmful wolf. And again, you don't have to buy the book, although it's a pretty good idea. There will be a link in the description below. Work with his virtues for a while till you get comfortable with it and you're ready to strike out on your own. Mold it to you and your specific needs and flaws and goods. Feed the wolf. It's just the perfect way to say it. These two wolves. Feed that good wolf that wants to be great. There is greatness in you, and you can be great, and you can make huge strides toward that greatness this year. I hope you will. So, if you got anything out of this video, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you later. I have classes now for people who are brand new to the road and who really need everything in one place. I'm offering classes on Skillshare.com and Udemy.com. They're 5.5 hours of content over 19 courses, and I try to answer every question that every new person has asked me over the years. So if you want all the information you need in one place, it's there to the very best of my abilities. It's there and waiting for you. Go take a look. There'll be a link down in the description below, or just go to Skillshare or Udemy.com and type in Bob Wells Cheap RV Living, and you'll find the course.